Yo, life's full of twists you never see coming. Picture this, a quiet street in Kentwood, Michigan, where mailboxes are rusty, numbered in faded black paint, and nothing much changes. It's the kind of place where folks notice every car that rolls by, not out of paranoia, but because they care. Meet Sarah Thompson, who's lived here for 5 years, walking her kid to the bus stop, waving at neighbors, nodding at guys mowing their lawns. But there's one guy she never acknowledges. She avoids him, barely glances his way, until one day, she does. It starts small, a quick look over the fence, catching his jawline, the way he grips a rake. It feels familiar, but not quite. Then he turns, and Sarah's world crumbles. His name's Ethan Carter now, but she knows him as Michael Thompson, her husband, the man she buried 7 years ago. She can still see the folded flag, the death certificate, the officials saying he didn't make it out of a fire. She begged to see his body. They said there was nothing left. Yet here he is, 3 houses down, alive, smiling, living a life without her. In that moment, Sarah realizes something chilling. Michael didn't die, he vanished. This isn't just about a guy dodging justice. It's about a man rebuilding in the shadows of the woman he abandoned, and a woman who won't let the past stay buried. The truth didn't disappear, it moved in next door. Before we dive into how a dead man started over just yards away, hit that subscribe button. These stories aren't just wild, they're real, and we drop them every week. Like this video if you've ever felt something was off, even when everyone told you to let it go. And tell us in the comments, what would you do if someone you loved came back from the dead, living next door? Before the headlines, before the empty funeral, there was a girl and a guy who met in the back of a college econ class. Sarah Thompson was quiet, organized, the type to color code her notes and help anyone who asked. Michael Thompson was different, charming, magnetic, the guy who could light up a room. Their spark was instant like fate. They fell hard, married by 23, planning a family by 25. But by 26, Michael was in federal court, facing a stack of charges: securities fraud, wire fraud, obstruction, terms Sarah barely grasped. She sat through every trial, held his hand, swore she'd wait. He got 10 years. She visited weekly for 8 months until one day, no call, no visit, just a letter. A riot, a fire, and Michael was gone, they said. No body, just ashes in a small box. Sarah pushed for answers, autopsy reports, DNA, but got nothing. So she mourned, held a memorial, packed his clothes, and moved to Kentwood for a fresh start. She didn't know Michael was already there, living as someone else, just beyond her backyard. Michael Thompson started his sentence at Coldwater Correctional in 2016, a medium-security prison in Michigan's woods. Court records say he adapted fast, kept his nose clean, joined a financial literacy program, volunteered in the law library like he was planning something even behind bars. Then, in March 2019, it all changed. A fight sparked a fire in cell block C, spreading fast. Sarah got the news 2 days later. A cold, typed letter saying Michael was presumed dead. No remains identified. She pushed for proof, photos, DNA, but doors kept closing. The death certificate was vague. Fire-related injuries, no fingerprints, no dental records. Grief took over, and Sarah buried what little she had. For years, she thought she saw Michael in strangers. Woke up thinking he was there. Trauma, she told herself. But then, in Kentwood, she saw him. Watering her flowers, she spotted a man across the street. Late 30s, lean, grayer hair. But that walk, that slight limp from an old knee injury. Then she saw the scar on his hand, from a broken wine glass on their 2nd anniversary. This wasn't her mind playing tricks. She watched him, heard his voice, same Midwestern twang, same thanks to the delivery guy. But they called him Ethan Carter. Sarah's grief turned to obsession. Ethan Carter had a clean life. Michigan driver's license, social security number, tax records, a job at a logistics firm near Grand Rapids. He was punctual, polite, unremarkable. He even had a girlfriend, Emily Davis, a 29-year-old barista who called him kind and private. She had no clue about his past. To Kentwood, Ethan was just a guy. To Sarah, he was a ghost. She went to the police with old photos, their marriage license, Michael's court records. The desk sergeant listened, skeptical, until she mentioned the scar. That's when the case escalated. The FBI got involved, quietly tailing Ethan. They pulled fingerprints from a coffee cup he tossed at a cafe. Results came back. Ethan Carter was Michael Thompson, convicted felon, presumed dead, now breaking federal laws. How did he pull it off? Records showed a fishy inmate transfer before the 2019 fire. Michael's name was on a list for medical observation, no doctor's signature, no nurse's log. The fire wasn't just chaos, it was cover. Someone inside helped him slip out. A shady consulting firm tied to parolee paperwork forged his new identity. Why settle in Kentwood, so close to Sarah? Some say coincidence, others arrogance. A few investigators whispered a darker theory. Maybe he never meant to leave her behind completely. Maybe he was watching. Sarah wasn't done. She set up a meeting with Ethan at a cafe, the same one from their first date. She wore a wire, heart pounding. They talked small stuff at first. Then she asked, "Do you ever think about the past? About us?" His eyes flickered. "Nah, I look forward," he said, but his hands clenched. Then she pushed, "I think about how you died in that prison fire." His face froze. Then a slip. "Sarah, you always," he stopped, but it was too late. He'd called her Saz, of a nickname only Michael used. The mask was off. She walked out, called the cops. The wire caught it all. Federal agents moved in, arresting Michael in his quiet apartment. He faced charges, identity fraud, prison escape, corruption. The guards who helped him, busted for bribes, their careers toast. The investigation uncovered a rotten network at Coldwater, bribery, fraud, a system that failed Sarah and others. Michael's girlfriend, Emily, was crushed. "I trusted him," she said. "He was my everything. How was he not real?" Sarah's victory was bittersweet. Justice didn't erase the pain, the 7 years of grief, while Michael watched from across town. She told investigators, "He let me mourn a lie. I lived in pain while he built a new life." That's not just betrayal, it's torture. Michael got 40 years, his charm gone, his lies exposed. The case became a symbol of a broken system. Sarah packed up, moved away with her son, started over. The scars remain, but each day, the weight of Michael's betrayal lightens. He wasn't just a liar, he was a coward hiding behind a picket fence. Sometimes, evil doesn't hide in the dark. It's your neighbor. What would you do if someone you loved faked their death and moved in nearby? Drop it in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more jaw-dropping true crime stories every week. Next time, we're diving into another case of deception that'll make you rethink the people you trust most.